sounds like a personal problem to me. That sounds like a
He's mad we're gonna be late.
that sounds like a personal problem.
I've been getting the mean looks. She's like, you already talked to him yesterday. Let's just.
I'm gonna let y'all go first though, just because I know y'all trying to go somewhere.
All right. What we got the measurements today. These just came in, but do you know how you scored? Like anything else that they told you?
I did 185 10 times, and I felt like I ran pretty well in the agility things, and my vertical jump is one of the big things that I'm good at. So I think all that really went well, but it was a plus to get 10 times 185. That was a big plus.
Can you talk in general about how some people might say it's a weak draft, but the point guard position is actually 8, 9 guys deep that could potentially be first-round guys? What it's been like that competition with guys?
Well, it's definitely a deep point guard class, a class where you have top to bottom, guys that's really established, guys that really did well in college and really put up numbers and been on winning teams. But when people say it's a weak draft, I don't know how you can tell if it's a weak draft until you see the guys playing the NBA. Everything is off of potential right now, but until you get into game situations where you're playing in the NBA, I think that's when you can really find out how good your draft class was.
Have you heard the story, the Dante Green, the hero, being a hero?
Yeah, when I talked to Sacramento, they told me he saved some with a lady in a river or something, drowned in or something like that.
She fell in the water and couldn't swim, and he dove in and dragged her on to a different boat or something.
That's crazy. That's just him being there. That just sounds like something he'd do. Sound like him being in the right place, and that's stuff he lived for. He lived for stuff like that. So that was funny to hear that. I think being a big family guy. My family is still together. We have 4 of us still together, and every decision I make, I go back and consult my family. So it just makes everything easier when you have your parents backing you 100% and really doing everything for you and not for themselves. So you see a lot of guys in these situations may not have one parent in the house or may have a family that's always trying to dictate what's happening in their life, and with my family it's not the case.
Your father is a minister, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
How much of an influence has he had in your life?
Oh, he's him and my mother, is the biggest influence on my life. Just like I said before, I'm blessed to have 2 parents in my household. I'm blessed to have a father figure that won't even let me get off the right track. Growing up, there's so many temptations. You have your friends doing things, and you want to follow them. But my father always would reason with me and tell me, you got to stay on the right and narrow path. And he really helped me and molded me into the person I am today. I think I would fit well. Playing. Definitely you got Andre Miller in there, so the first year you probably just learn from a veteran guy like that. I have no problem coming off the bench and learning from a guy like that and really soaking up everything. Just being a sponge and soaking up everything, and just ready to play and spare him whenever he has time, and just go and be a valuable asset to that team.
Have you talked to the Detroit Pistons?
Oh yeah, I actually talked to them last night. It was my last interview of the night. Just great guys. There's Joe Dumars in there. Just everybody with the Pistons is just down to earth. It was really informal. It was just a lot of laughing and giggling. I cracked a joke with him. I came in there with my shirt buttoned up, and I was like, I can unbutton my shirt talking to you guys. I feel like, I could be loose. I could really be myself. But it's a great situation. They went through a couple tough times this year, but, even they made the playoffs still. But, just have a great nucleus, a great core of guys, and Stuckey and, Tayshaun Prince, whatever happens to him, and just have a great group of guys that, will be a great situation.
Are you playing any minutes there?
I think so. I think one of my workouts is pending, for Detroit, but I would love to get there and work out with them and, see what they have to say. They can see, me and Ronald Stuckey in the backcourt together, almost like this is what they said. This is not what I'm saying. They said as like Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas. So, just to be mentioned in a group of guys like that is just a big honor.
You didn't say you had a chance to meet with Washington this week?
It wasn't like they were a bad team, just a team plagued with a lot of injuries. So you got Gilbert Arenas, Antoine Jamison, and Caron Butler, and then they have a top pick where they're going to get an even better talent. So I think that's definitely a great situation for whoever goes there, because you're going to a situation where guys are going to be winning. You're in a winning team. You have a great coach there. So I think the Washington Wizards is a team you got to look out for this year.
What did they tell you about their level of interest in you? I know they had the 5 pick, and a lot of people have you slated maybe 8 to 10, 12.
They didn't really get into details, about that. They just said, that I'm on their radar and they've been watching me very closely. So, just to hear that from a team with the 5th pick, that's a lot of assurance.
Did we talk about you and Gilbert? Or did they mention that?
Yeah, they mentioned that too. Went through every scenario, playing alongside of him. even coming off the bench and things like that. Really asked me a lot of questions about, how do you feel, being a starter your whole life. How would it feel to, come in and play off the bench because you bring that level of energy and the level of play up, and I think I can really do that.
They know what you can do, and there's not a lot of people who are wondering if you can do it at the next level.
Well, I think, it showed on the court. My 2 years at Syracuse, being in an offense, was a pick-and-roll offense, an NBA style of offense. So I think a lot of these teams and a lot of these GMs see me run an NBA offense, so they didn't know what I can do. I think just right now it's just getting to know me, just getting to know the person. But I think the main thing with me is, I established myself on the court, and I really let my game speak for itself.
I mean, Tyreek Evans, somebody asked him, the toughest guy who went up against him in this draft. He named you. A lot of these GMs, are just blown away by what you've been able to do. I'm from Sacramento, looking at the Kings situation. That's a high pick. It's all the way to number 4.
Yeah.
But really, why is there any reason to think that you're not in that class?
Well, definitely. I think, even though it's a high pick, I think, just being in the right situation. I try not to look at numbers of picks because you get guys drafted really high but may not come into a right situation that fit them and may not play. But you say a situation like Sacramento where you can come in, play right away. You got Jason Thompson. I can meet up with my Dante Green and Old Pell, and it's just about getting in the right situation. That's the main thing in this draft, and I think that's a pretty good fit. It's definitely will be fun to get in a situation where you can get in and help the team. Get around the curve, like you said. That's always a big thing for me. I'm so competitive, and I'm a guy that always want to fix something or make something right. So just to be in a team like that where if you can come in and really help them get to that level, that would be pretty beneficial.
How was your interview with them? Were you comfortable like you were with the
Pistons? Definitely. I was comfortable with them too. It's just some teams are informal, some teams are more formal. The Pistons and the Kings were definitely some of the informal ones that I could really show my personality.
Did they give you any sense of how high they are on you?
They said they was really high on me too, but right now you can't really tell. You don't know if they're saying that just because they're interviewing you and things like that. But hopefully in these workouts and things like that, I can really just show them.
Yeah, what do you think the odds are that you could end up in Milwaukee if you're there?
Well, I think they would. Just like I was saying, they said they were really high on me, but I think that would be a good situation. They got Richard Jefferson there. They got even Ramon Sessions and those guys are there. Still a good core, still a good nucleus of young guys, and with a great coach like Scott Skiles, a point guard, can really help me elevate my game. So I think I can really do well. Oh yeah, just that's a dream of any kid. Whether you play basketball, baseball, football, playing for the team that you watch up growing, playing for the team that everybody in your area roots for, your home team, and just playing for that team is always a dream of anybody. So if by any chance the Knicks were to draft me, it would be great. I would love to play there, but I'm ready to play for anybody. I would just want to get in the NBA and show my talents, and I'm ready to play for any team that was to pick me. I think, just coming from Syracuse, playing zone all the time, a lot of people question whether I can play man-to-man defense. And this is what I tell them coming into college. I was really known as a guy that would get up in guys 94 feet and dictate the game from a defensive standpoint, playing in the USA teams and going to Serbia and things like that. That's where I kind of got a good name for myself at is on the defensive end other than the offensive end. So I think along with that and even at Syracuse, even though we played zone every day for at least 20-30 minutes, we would go over man-to-man principles. So I don't think I'm that far behind from a guy who's been playing man-to-man his whole college career. A guy you want to emulate, and one of those guys for me is Chris Paul. I see a lot of similarities, in my game and his game. He's fearless, he's tough. He gets all respect from his teammates, and he's a guy that makes plays for himself and makes plays for his teammates. You look at guys like David West and Tyson Chandler. Where would they be without a guy like Chris Paul? So I really like that about them, how he elevates the level of his team to his level. It's hard to really. You talking just question like?
This question is like, wow. It made you like stop and think, or it was so off the wall you had to laugh at it or something.
Well, I didn't. A team asked me a question like, just saying, how would you stop yourself? And I think, if you're a player, you're never going to say you can stop yourself. So I had to stop, and I paused about 3 minutes, and I'm just shaking my head thinking. And the first thing I said, well, I don't think I can stop myself, but if I had to slow myself up, I would let me shoot the jump shot. So I think that was the most question, the weirdest question I think I had. I think that probably would be the weirdest question I had.
Do you think it's too much information sometimes? I mean, everybody's seen you play, everybody's worked you out. I mean, what is there really to ask you at a certain point?
You're right. I think just at this point, just like you said, everybody's seeing what you did on the court. Everybody's seeing what you did throughout your college career. I think the combine and the meetings and things like that is just getting to know the person behind the basketball player. I think that's a big thing for these teams, investing a lot of money into young guys. They want to know what they're investing money into. So I think just to ask questions like that, to pick a person's brain and see what he's thinking, I think that's what all these interviews are for.